Hey guys, Adam Tanner here from fitnessforlife365.com, and today's video I'm actually going to talk about a few topics. This is why I have my laptop right next to me. So we're going to talk about Max Holloway chances against Khabib Nurmagomedov, Conor McGregor energy level, which is just we're going to get into this just a little bit because something that came up recently that proved an old point I made. Whereas all the trash talkers that they were saying they're gonna jump in last minute, well, kind of karma thing, because Ferguson, the time that Khabib got injured, the time that Ferguson got injured, he would not stop talking about it, and then, now he's the one injured, and with the weight cut kind of thing, and a little bit of a breakdown on Khabib versus Max Holloway. Gonna get a little bit also into Joanna versus Rose, or Rose versus Joanna, because Rose is champion, and Khabib, he's just earning respect with everyone day after day. And the last thing, and my favorite, is Khabib versus the GOAT Artem, because that was epic. And I have a huge or a new perspective on Khabib Nurmagomedov. So let's start with the first one, which is Max chances against Khabib. First of all, I'm gonna say this: I truly believe that despite the odd makers having Max having way less chance to beat Khabib, I think Max has a better chance than Tony Ferguson to beat Khabib. And Max keeps getting better with each fight. I need to address this because everyone keeps bringing up the Tebow fight. There's things that people don't know about Tebow, because most of the people that started watching MMA came after the John Jones era, the Ronda Rousey era, the Conor McGregor era. So for you who don't know about Tebow, when Tebow fought Khabib, first of all, that was half a decade ago, and the guy improved a million times. It was in Tebow's peak of his career. Not just that, Tebow was juice out of his head. And this is the thing though, does anyone not know that Tebow has the most takedowns in the history of the UFC? Not just that, Tebow history of the lightweight division, second in the history of the UFC behind Georges St-Pierre. One of the guys who had the most fights in UFC history, probably top 10. And wrestling wise as well, he has one of the best, if not the best, takedown defense. Well, taking Chad Mendes out of the equation because he has 100% takedown defense, but again, he doesn't have half the fights that Tebow has. Also, Tebow out-wrestled Nick Diaz. That shows you how big the guy is. Nick Diaz is a guy that fought at middleweight. And of course, he got knocked out by Nick Diaz, but he completely out-wrestled him. Hunter, be quiet. So where are all the trash talkers? Everyone was saying that we're gonna jump in last minute, and the one that really bugs me the most is Eddie Alvarez, because Eddie said, I'm gonna be training, I'm gonna be ready, and then after he was offered the fight, he rejected it because he couldn't make the weight, and made this video saying that I weigh 190. 190? How on earth could you be getting ready for a fight and you weigh 190? That's 155 division. That's 35 pounds over your weight limit. So of course, everyone keeps saying not afraid of Khabib. What happened to Donald Cerrone? Because I genuinely don't know what happened to Donald Cerrone, but I remember Donald before his last fight said, I'm going back to lightweight. Khabib, I'm coming for you. I don't know what happened to Kevin Lee again. What, did he say something? Because I'm not aware of it. There's so many fighters that just did not really talk about it at all. So yeah, Michael, Kevin Lee, there's just, so the people that came close to fighting was Eddie Alvarez, and again, waiting 190 I think is just completely unprofessional on his part. And I think he's scared, to be honest. You said you're gonna be ready. Max Holloway also is one of the guys that said he's gonna be ready. If you watch the press conference for his fight with Frankie Edgar, he said, in case this fight fell apart, I will be there, I will step up, and I will be ready. And he was not wrong. Right, Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, stay ready. He said stay ready, right? And everyone was waiting for him to be ready. But the thing is, Dana White refused for him to fight. Like he said, Conor was never an option. I did not call him. I was not gonna call him. And even if you called me, I wasn't gonna let that fight to happen. Dana White is wrong about this one. Like genuinely, I think Dana White is completely wrong about this one. I think that Khabib versus Conor, Madison Square Garden for the actual title, because Conor is the champion, was easily gonna go over 2 million. And if Conor lost, there could be a rematch, and it could be in Russia, and it could be something that goes over 3 or 4 million. And again, if Khabib lost, then well, I genuinely don't know. Well, actually, I do know. That could be Conor versus Nate, and that will be a fight that will go about over 3 million. Could be Conor versus GSP. There's a lot of huge money fights. I genuinely believe Conor wants to fight Khabib, and I can't wait till Khabib actually gets the win. A lot of people are accusing me that I hate Tony Ferguson. You can't say the same about Max Holloway. Because if you go back a few years ago, before UFC 200, anything was announced about UFC 200. Conor lost to Nate, and people weren't sure that he's going to be on the UFC 200 card. I made a video, and I said it very clearly. It's going to be Conor versus Nate, the rematch. Which, by the way, the fight was going to happen. Just Conor was second off the card for not doing his media obligation, not for anything else. And I said the interim title, and this is before anything was announced, the interim title will happen, and it will be Aldo versus Frankie Edgar. However, it should be Max Holloway versus Frankie Edgar. This was, 2 years, or actually over 2 years ago when I said that. Huge Max Holloway fan. I think he's weighing over his head. And let's go to the little bit of breakdown, because I don't usually analyze fights and say what I think kind of movement would happen, but I actually did watch one video. I wish I could give this guy credit, but I can't remember his channel's name. He broke the fight down perfectly, but he's mistaken about one thing, and it's one thing that people might be overlooking. Grip, the wrist control, having a very strong grip. Max Holloway can avoid his takedowns. That's basically what he was saying. Max Holloway can avoid his takedowns because his grip control and controlling the wrist against the cage, when his back is against the cage, and then he changes direction, gets out of the way. And this is true. Max Holloway is probably the best at doing this. However, I'm going to have my own experience. I've never seen anyone, and I never fought anyone or trained with anyone or actually met anyone my size or even 30 pounds heavier who's got stronger grip than me. You can see my channel videos of me doing pull-ups, holding onto a towel and having 200 pounds attached to me, and still doing it. When you can see I'm doing it full range of motion with absolute ease. Videos of doing clapping fingertips push-ups, handstand fingertips push-ups. My grips is insanely strong. My technique is not that great, which is the thing that Max Holloway probably need. However, one time I fought a guy who is a Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and I fought my grip strength would overpower him despite the fact that he has technique over me. I was absolutely shocked, because that's the only guy I ever fought that was my size. Everyone else was way bigger. This guy was my size, and I felt so much resistance, and it wasn't technique, it was just resistance from his grip. A lot of people don't mention this about Khabib, but the guy is a black belt in judo, and he has one of the strongest grip. And I've seen this video of him training with Luke Rockhold, and he was controlling Luke Rockhold's wrist. So yes, you are right about Max Holloway having this huge weapon, but it means nothing against Khabib. Absolutely nothing. In defense of Max Holloway, his takedown defense, people saying Conor McGregor took him 4 out of 5 times in the fight. Yes, I know that. But that was when Max Holloway ground game was almost 0. And again, Conor McGregor ground game is insanely underrated. Probably the most underrated ground game in the UFC, period. His ground game is really good, but that will be for another video. Now, karma is a bitch. I don't understand why Dana White could not make this fight with Conor versus Khabib. He said it's not enough time to generate money. And I'm sorry, but Dana is really wrong on this one. Stay here. Because I think Conor, with the amount of Irish people in New York and with the amount of Russian people in New York, it's gonna be one of the biggest fights. It's gonna break all the UFC records by far. And if Conor loses, it sets up the biggest fight and probably the biggest pay-per-view ever if they were able to get the rematch in Russia. Because you're gonna say Conor took the fight in 6 days notice. Let's see what he's gonna do with the full camp. And Conor can get an immediate rematch because he's Conor. And if Conor wins, he can get the rematch, the third fight trilogy with Nate Diaz, and it's gonna generate so much money. So I do not agree with Dana on his decision when it comes to that. Okay, let's see what else. Karma. Ferguson versus Khabib. Ferguson got injured. He was replaced with Daryl Horcher. Khabib did not complain. He took the fight. He never said anything about Ferguson being injured. Actually, Ferguson was the one who trash talked him and said he should not fight Daryl, he should wait for me till I get better, which is absolutely ridiculous. Stay. Then when Khabib did not make weight, he just abused him on social media for a whole year. Tiramisu this, tiramisu that. And by the way, have any one of you seen Khabib actually eat tiramisu? Because as far as I know, Khabib is a very strict Muslim and tiramisu has alcohol in it. So, guys, let me know about this. But my point is, now you're the one who got injured again, and Khabib did not trash talk you. So not just that karma got you, actually Khabib earned so much respect because he was such an amazing person when it came to that. They didn't trash talk him, he didn't say anything, he was just... And also the amount of times he thanked Max Holloway for taking the fight in short time. Just phenomenal, really. He's just an amazing athlete. Also, when it comes to the breakdown, everyone is saying Khabib. I can't handle people talking about Khabib versus Tebow, and the fact that Conor McGregor took Max Holloway 4 out of 5 times. These fights, one of them was 5 years ago, I think, and the other one was 6 years ago. Now, let me explain to you something here, right? Khabib versus Tebow, for all the new fans, please sit down, listen up, this is very important, do not skip this part. Tebow has the most takedowns in UFC lightweight history. He has the second most takedowns in UFC history behind George St. Pierre. His takedown defense is 92%. That's an amazing takedown defense compared to the people he actually fought. He out-wrestled Nick Diaz at welterweight. When he fought Khabib, Khabib was having his second UFC fight, and he was going against a guy who has one of the most fights in the history of the UFC. I think he's top 10. So yeah, you can't... And Tebow was running from him. Tebow was scared of being taken down by him. He did not want to grapple with him. That was 6 years ago. Do you guys really think Khabib did not improve during these 6 years? The guy is grappling with Luke Rockhold and getting control over Luke's wrist. If you look at all the training videos, he's insanely impressive. He's insanely impressive. Now when it comes to Max Holloway against Conor McGregor was 5 years ago. Conor's ground game is so much underrated. He's the most underrated guy when it comes to ground game, and I will make a video just dedicated to that. Before you argue it, wait till the video, then argue it. Bad boy. He's ruining my video. There you go. Stay. Sit. Stay. Down. Good boy. Alright. I can't remember even what I was saying here. Yeah, the Max out. So Conor took Max 4 out of 5 times, if I'm not mistaken. But again, ground game is underrated. and Max was still an amateur when it comes to ground game. He really improved. Is it enough? I don't think so. 6 days, is it enough? Also, I don't think so. The fact that Khabib doesn't have George Lockhart with him, really worrying me. Now, let's see. Joanna versus Rose. So as I said, I don't watch them often, so I can't really analyze this fight. But I'm gonna answer the question, and it was, do you think Rose will be destroyed? And it was a fluke that she won the first fight because of the weight cut. It wasn't a fluke. It could be because of the weight cut, but if you think Joanna would walk through Rose, I don't think that would happen. And Max Kellerman, who's one of the best analysts in the world, was talking about, boxing-wise anyway, if two fighters fought each other and they had a rematch, if the younger fighter won the first time, it's almost 100% the younger fighter would win the second time. Rose improves way better than Joanna does. On the ground, Rose has the advantage. Rose beat her stand-up last time. Weight cut can really affect you. Yes, it can, and it could be because of the weight cut. But then again, some people can go through it, like Khabib Nurmagomedov against Michael Johnson. He had a horrible weight cut, and he still was able to perform. RDA against Tony Ferguson. He did not perform his best, but he still was able to do anything. Joanna was a zombie in there. So I'm sorry, but if a weight cut does that to you, I don't know. Again, I've never watched them fight, so I'm not giving a prediction. But don't underestimate Rose or ever think it was a fluke. Oh my god, this is my favorite one. Khabib versus Artem. I have 2 minutes left. Okay. So, Khabib versus Artem Lobov, the GOAT, greatest of all time. I genuinely think Khabib is the baddest man on the planet after watching the altercation with Artem, and I will tell you why. This guy is the most intimidating guy you would ever meet, because Artem is a machine. Artem just fights everyone. If you look at Artem's record, the people he fought is insanely scary that he took on these people very early on in his career, especially because he's a really sucky fighter. Like, the guy can't fight. I'm sorry, but the guy can't fight. The guy's not UFC level, the guy's not even, but the names that he fought is just so impressive. And he fights like he doesn't seem to be scared of anyone. He trains with McGregor. McGregor beats the hell out of him most of the times, all the time really. He wants to fight Jose Aldo, he fought Cub Swanson, he fought Dave Hill when he was like absolutely nobody at the time. So you can tell that this is a brawler, a guy who never gets scared. But you can watch the altercation video. Khabib literally grabbed the back of his neck and I think he slapped him. He smacked his head a couple of times, smacked the back of his head a couple of times. And he said, well, this was translation, so I could be wrong, but the guys who translated the video is saying that Artem was saying, I did not say that about you. And Khabib was saying, don't you ever say that I'm scared or I get scared. And Artem actually did say that about Khabib, because I saw the video of him saying it in English. And Artem got grabbed from the back of his neck, smacked, and didn't say a word. You can tell that he got terrified. Go watch the video. You can tell that he lost it. So Khabib is really a guy that makes someone like Artem, who is really a badass. He's a sucky fighter, but he's such a badass. Scared. He made him back down. That's Mike Tyson intimidation. And he doesn't try to intimidate you, but like, I've seen that and it's like, okay, he has the intimidation thing going on for him, because even the confidence of Max Holloway might not even help him in that fight. So my pick is still Khabib. I would not be too disappointed if Max won, but I still think Khabib is gonna get the job done. I just hope that they both make weight and